it just happened that the way they traveled towards Baghdad, they were incredibly lucky. There was one instance where they came close, and from what I understand, the Marines performed flawlessly. They did exactly what they needed to do. They set up a perimeter, and had they encountered something, they would have been absolutely ready to face it.
And I understand, though, that on the road to Baghdad, and again, maybe just being a little bit behind something that happened, clearly they saw the horrors of war.
They did. They did. I think at that point it was unavoidable, and everywhere they went, the damage, the suffering was there, and they did see that, yes. And it affected, I'm sure, every single one of them.
And it was on the part of the Iraqi people, maybe some of them totally innocent civilians, right, that lost their lives. I believe the latest count from the Associated Press is they believe about 3,420 civilians lost their lives, and I think, you know, that is the ultimate horror of a war, isn't it?
It is. Sadly, you try to avoid that at all costs.
Right. And there's some of the troops there. As it turned out, I believe they were all men who went over. Is that correct?
Yes, I am the only female in the unit.
And you stayed here and held the fort together, right? And tell us, do you have some of the names and everything?
Well, there's Major Birchie. He is the commanding officer. Some of the other Marines, let's see, who do we have here?
Those smiles say it all.
They do.
So you can't have too many
honestly,
parades.
Honestly.
Look.
I believe that's Corporal Plonsky right there. Yeah, I always laugh and say, well, after all, they all start looking alike.
Now, how did you decide, or how did they decide that they would wear their desert uniforms? What is the official name for that uniform?
The Desert Camouflage Utility.
Okay, as opposed to their dress uniforms.
It was actually a very easy decision. This is what they lived in. This is what they wore the entire time they were there. And it was appropriate that they do this. It kind of brings a piece of the desert back to South Bend, really.
And in a way, what happened over there was also a history lesson for many of us, and I guess also a meteorological lesson too. But there's Fred Dodd from the Tribune right there.
That's Chief Warrant Officer Curry.
By the way, if you're wondering for all of Fred's hard work, what he got in return for that, the Tribune gave him a month off. So I think he's towards the end of that month right now, but you don't want to miss a parade. That sandstorm that they got caught up in one day must have been just unbelievable.
I can only imagine. And it's that fine sand that gets into everything. I think they're still pulling things out of boxes and dusting sand off them, even here.
I can attest to that because I went up to Fred's farm in southwest Michigan to do an interview with him, and he had our equipment that he took over. And even though he had cleaned it, it was unbelievable. It was just covered.
It covered,
And it was red, too. That red,
right. Kind of the mixture of sand and dirt. And, yes.
I'll tell you what, there's Mayor Buter and Mayor Lickey from South Bend, and we are going to take a very short break here, and we will be right back with coverage of the parade and more in just a moment.
Closed captioning for News 22 is brought to you by Big Lots. Brand names, closeout price.
We go along. Right now I'm going to send it to our colleague Keith Carter, who is, I believe, somewhere midway along the route and talking to some of the people who are watching the parade. Keith?
And Mike and Captain Ross, we have a very happy wife here today. I want you to tell us, Nikki Coney, what did it feel like to have your husband back home?
Awesome. Words can't explain what it's like to have my husband home. It's just awesome. I'm so proud of him. It's just really nice to have him home.
Now, you've seen him up close and personal. Did he look the same in the parade as he did when he left?
Yeah. Yeah, he was a lot happier in this parade.
So we understand that you all got married very quickly before he took off, right?
Yes, we got married a week and a half before he left.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you for coming out. And Mike and Captain Ross, we also have a group of students who are very excited to be here to welcome home our Marines. And with them is one of their instructors. Debbie, I want you to tell us, why did you feel it was important to bring the students out here?
Well, we've been talking about it in class, and we wanted to show our support, that we really appreciate them. We've made some gifts and sent them over through one of our parents, and we just want them to know how much we appreciate them and how much we value them.
And where are all these students from?
They're from Circle of Mercy.
Circle of Mercy. And
Yep.
Mike and Captain Ross, they have been out here making all kinds of noise, waving their flags. We have a good number of them who are future Marines who are out here excited to see our troops in the parade. Mike?
That's a nice thing to do. They're kids from, just out of school, and so they're going down to the parade and joining it like that. Let's take another live picture of it as we go along. And again, it's a very short parade. It goes from, how many blocks we have here? 8?
From LaSalle to
Yeah,
South.
I think down to South Street. Originally, it was going to go to Sample, but that created more of a problem with midday kind of traffic and everything like that. So where they're going to, if you don't know where South Street is in South Bend, is where the Studebaker Museum is, and across the street from the Transpo station. There's those students, Captain.
Adorable. I have to say, the support from the community has been phenomenal. Unexpected, really. I knew people would come out. I knew there would be offers of help, but it has been overwhelming, and we cannot thank the community enough for everything they have done.
And if you think about it, that's probably hundreds of times over from, you know, Maine to Hawaii, with various reserve units that have been called up to active duty. You know, one thing I wanted to ask is, do you think that this unit, you know, when these men and women, when they joined up, was it a reality in their mind that they could be called to active duty in a war, or is that something they thought, well, that'll never happen?
I think it's a combination. It's always in the back of your mind. You signed the paperwork, you understand what your obligations are. The fact that it actually happened, I think, took all of us by surprise. But everyone was ready, and everyone knew what they were supposed to do. And
this is why the reserves have intense training as they go along, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because there wouldn't be enough time from the time you get your orders to the time you have to go to get up to snuff on training.
No, one of our biggest issues is readiness. Making sure that our Marines are ready to go at a moment's notice.
It's a good shot there, Captain. This is
The color guard. They
color
do a
guard
great
going
job.
on.
They really do.
I think where they're located here because of the closeness of the shot. Oh, they're getting very close. I think that's the Goodwill store down there. So that, the front end of this is getting very, very close. And that is the Washington High School Band coming up. And their green colors. We'll be right back with more in just a moment.
Everybody come close. Now this is a Champion window. Look at that workmanship. Like I said on the bus, Champion sells replacement windows, patio rooms, entry doors.
Siding and bay windows?
Yes, built, installed, and guaranteed by Champion.
Are they expensive?
No, little buddy. Factory direct pricing sees to that. Now, to the patio room in the back.
Honey, he's out there again.
With Champion.
This week at Harding's, get USDA Select T-bone steak for just $5.99 a pound. And certified fresh ground beef from Chuck for only $1.59 a pound. Spartan 12 packs of 12-ounce pop are 99 cents plus deposit. And seedless watermelons are $3.99 each, right now at Harding's.
Harding's friendly markets, just what you're hungry for.
Put on a new roof and don't pay till 2004, now at Menards. Our entire selection of Owens Corning shingles is on sale. Choose from traditional 3-tab classic and Supreme shingles or Oak Ridge Pro 30 and Pro 40-year shingles that feature the look of a shake roof. On sale now. Finish your roofing project with aluminum soffit and fascia. It features a lifetime warranty and is on sale in 10 colors. Cover your home with savings from Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
And once again, you're looking live, picture of the Operation Homecoming South Bend Parade, which I think from start to finish would take about a half hour from the distance they're going today. The central unit here, of course, for those of you just joining us, is the Company B, I will shorten it to the Engineering Corps, based in South Bend.
And there are 3 platoons within that company.
I'll bet this weather today is comforting and cooling to these men after that brutal heat they had over there for a while.
They were saying that in California they were having a hard time. They were getting cold.
They were getting cold at Camp Pendleton. Okay, there you go. So right now we want to, who do you want to toss it out to now, Pat? To Denise? All right, let's go to News 22's Denise Bone.
Hi, Mike, we're at the end
There
of the
she
parade,
is.
obviously. We're going to try and hook up with some of the Marines. We're going to walk towards the end here. We were bringing you some live shots. They've just ended here at the corner of South and Main Street. Again, we've got about 103 members of Company B who are here. People were chanting and lining the streets, chanting USA. As you see, they've got the signs, they've got the flags out here, and they are so happy to see these guys. Let me see if I can get to some of them. They're being applauded right now. Let me talk to you. First of all, let me get your name, please, sir.
Chief Warrant Officer Brian Curry.
Where are you from?
Fremont, Indiana.
Talk to me about how you felt being home in the parade and what you've been doing since you've been home.
Oh, it felt great. What have I been doing? I've been relaxing. Trying to get back in the same mode I had before I left.
Has it been hard? You were gone since January, at least.
It has been, but it hasn't. Some ways it is harder. You know, getting up at dark 30 in the morning compared to now getting up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
And what do you think of the turnout today? Boy, there's thousands of people here. Yeah.
I love it. Everybody, I mean, this is the love of the community right here, coming out and thanking us all.
We are so happy that you all are home. Can I speak to any of these other gentlemen, or they have to be dismissed yet? There's some official things that are happening here. Mr. Nielsen, can I have your name, your title, and where you're from, sir?
My name is Mark Nielsen, warrant officer, and I'm from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and you served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. When did you get home, and how do you feel to be home?
I'm with this unit down here in South Bend, so we came home the same time. Just got home on Friday and landed at Chicago, and I got home Saturday morning. And my wife and daughter were there, and it was a wonderful feeling seeing them, and it's a great feeling today seeing all these people coming out, showing their support, showing their warmth, and just, you know, their excitement of being an American. This is what it's all about.
And what have you been doing since you've been home?
Spending time with my wife and daughter. My daughter is 21 months, so she grew quite a bit the last 6 months.
What did you miss most? Probably your family?
My family, my wife and daughter.
Well, we're so happy you're back and you're safe. And again, tell me about the feeling as you're walking down Main Street and you're seeing all the people that have come out.
You know, it's something else to hear that clapping, and you hear the chants, you hear the USA, you see people that are family with signs. You know, it's really emotional to see that. Your heart is beating probably 110, 120 beats a minute. It gives you an overall warm feeling. It's the same thing as when you see during the Olympics when the American flag goes up when someone has won the gold medal. It's a wonderful feeling that goes through your body when you see that.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you all. And again, Mike, we're at the corner of South and Main. Operation Homecoming Parade has just ended. The men are still waiting to be dismissed here at the corner. And I can tell you there are so many families out here that are so excited that their loved ones are home. But we also want to remember there are still thousands and thousands of military men and women that are still fighting in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and we want to keep them in our thoughts and our prayers at this time.
All right, Denise Bone reporting live. She was at the very end of the parade. She managed to squire a few of your colleagues out before they were dismissed, by the way.
They were dismissed, yes.
They don't get in trouble for that, do they?
No, they do not.
Okay, very good. You know, and it seems that just about everyone's getting involved in welcoming home Michiana's troops. For instance, today the Marathon gas station, Captain, which is at the corner of Colfax and Notre Dame Avenue, put up a patriotic display. Of course, a lot of people would come downtown via that route to enjoy the parade, so they put 50 flags around the lawn of the gas station. And I'm going to ask you to be my commentator on this. We're going to take a look now at South Bend Marine Corps Engineer Company B in action in Iraq. The video shot, of course, by South Bend Tribune reporter Fred Dodd exclusively for News 22. And Captain, you are the expert on this, so tell me what you see.
This is their mop gear. This is their chemical suits. Can you imagine having to live in those for 30 days?
In the heat?
In the heat. Plastic rubber gloves. Here they are making sandbags. This, I assume, they're building a camp. I'm going to guess that this is likely Route 1.
Route 1, yes, it is, going into Baghdad. And I believe, Captain, right now, Denise Bone is with Fred Dodd of the Tribune, who became invaluable, I think, to the families and to the troops over there.
Wonderful.
A nice conduit to have.
Yes.
So let's send it back to Denise and Fred.
Mike, I'm sorry I'm having a little bit hard time hearing you, but I believe that you're out to us. We're at the corner of South and Main at the end of the parade. I've got CO. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Tell me your name again.
Major Leon Bird.
Major Leon Burst, how does it feel to be home?
It feels great. It's awesome. This is a day we'll never forget. Support that we've had from South Bend, it's been second to none. And every company that we talk